Before this video begins, please allow me to take this opportunity to give a thank you to the sponsorship donators and Patreons of this channel, these being Skyhawkings, Tribal Typhoon, Dante Demonic, and Negus. Thank you. Without your support, this video would not have been possible. Shall we begin? My apologies, I seem to have been distracted. Been enjoying a bit too much sun here at Section 31 Delta Force Fleet's colony. Well, colony. You must all be here for the Starship stats review here on Star Trek Online, am I correct? I see. You know, I knew we'd be going over all 4 variants today, but to see so many people, Federation, Romulan, Klingons, and Dominion all in one area, the Alliance must be coming a long way. Well, let us not hold off. This stats review video will first cover the stats of the ships and discuss certain differences that you may find specifically for the Dominion variant. We will have a hopefully very quick look over the customization options. I'm sure the Klingons will be happy to hear about this since they've been requesting this ship for so long. And then we will see this ship in action. So, don't allow me to hold this off any longer. Let's get straight in with the stats first. We're starting here looking at the Aspero carrier, but don't worry all factions, we are looking at each of your ships. I'll be flicking between them. The Aspero carrier is available to only Starfleet and Starfleet aligned factions. So Klingons, I'm sorry. And Jem'Hadar, Romulans that allied with the Klingons, I'm sorry. Having said this, this ship is a tier 6 ranking ship that will level with you as you, well, progress. Not bad, and to say straight away out the gate we're going to see some great things with the stats is not to be missed. All 3 ships come with a 3 forward, 3 rear weapon slots, allowing this ship to maintain the standard science carrier orientation that everyone seems to think this ship is. But I do want to reiterate right now, this is a support carrier, so get that super science orientation out your head. Support doesn't rely fully on science, not all the time at least. This ship comes with an interesting hull base. Now, bearing in mind that this ship is your typical tier 6 ship, its hull modifier ranks in at 1.4. This equates to, at level 65, 63,000 hull, which is quite strong. Okay, I should probably add right now, while we're talking about this, that the Jem'Hadar variant isn't quite as strong. This one having its maximum hull strength at level, well, its base hull strength, sorry, at level 65 being 56,250. With its hull modifier being ranked as a 1.25. This is negated though semi by its shield modifier being 1.3. Whereas on the other 3 ships, that shield modifier is 1.25. However, as you may have straight away noticed, when it comes to the other ships, their hull modifier is greatly superior to the shield modifier of the Jem'Hadar. You can then counteract this fact by saying, yes, well, shield sponges most of the damage, but it doesn't necessarily sponge that much of it. Something to keep in mind, will the Jem'Hadar's secret weapon come into play? Okay, probably would have been smart of me to mention this sooner, so I'm just going to mention it right now. If you are looking into getting these ships, it's something to keep in mind. They're currently on sale in the Zen store. Now, normally they're 3,000 Zen each, but at the moment they're available for 2,400 Zen for a singular ship. Considering what you get with them, you may only want one of the ships, let's be fair. However, there is a benefit to going with the full bundle, and that's not just having access to all 4 aesthetic looks. and essentially the semi-stat differences between the main three and Jem'Hadar. You also will find that this is currently at 8,000 Zen for the full bundle, if you can afford it. That will go up to 10,000 Zen. However, if you have not actually acquired the ship, to get the fleet variant, it will cost you 5 fleet modules. But if you've got the ship, it will only cost you 1 fleet module. This fleet variant is a lot stronger than the main one. All fleet variants are. In fact, I would actually say the fleet variants of this ship do pull it on par with legendary class ships of a similar caliber, like the legendary Intrepid class. I can also state to you now that when you buy the bundle, you will get 4 fleet modules with it, meaning you can make all 4 ships that you've just acquired immediately available to yourself as the fleet variant. Just something to keep in mind. Bringing it back up, it's worth to mention now that it has 4 device slots rather than the standard science ship of 3. Great for a support carrier, really. It does have one big weakness, and that's its turn rate of 5. Now, yes, it's a carrier, and yes, by having a 3-3 weapon orientation, this is set up for broadsiding. That 5 is still going to be semi-impactful for anyone who prefers to maintain the forward attack arc. This is where the fleet variant may come slightly more useful to you, but we'll discuss the fleet when we get there. The impulse modifier is 0.15, and her inertia rating is 20. Right. That's going to be interesting in a fight. I mean, not the quickest and not the stupidest. If that's a word. Just totally a word. It's definitely going to be interesting seeing her flying around. She has subsystem targeting, as you would expect, and her bonus power settings are +5 to shields and +10 to shields. Sorry, I'm reading that wrong. +10 to shields and +10 to auxiliary. She can load dual cannons, but as previously stated, not sure why you would, seeing as this ship is definitely a broadside wannabe build with its slow turn pace. There's nothing saying you can't get that turn pace right up and through the roof. Certainly, if you know what you're doing, you can turn this ship into one hell of a fast and nimble ship. But that's knowing what you're doing. She comes with quite the interesting console. We will take a look at that momentarily. And she will also come with 2 hangar bays. This is eloquently equipped with 2 types of carrier pets, which again we'll take a look at shortly. Her Starship ability package is the stunning carrier package, giving a quick deployment recharge time, max hull HP, reactive shield technologies, which gives you boosted shield gen and hardness, and advanced shield systems. This is the same across the board, and noting on that, actually will provide the Jem'Hadar Vanguard carrier its much needed boost due to its slightly weaker endurance stats. Now back to the Klingon as we discuss a fundamental area and put up the fight against those who have been complaining about this science carrier not being sciencey enough. What? Okay, so the big complaint actually came in with its bridge officer positions, I noticed, and its console positions. I wish to dash these rumours. So, first of all, let's keep in mind that it's known as a support carrier, and that does make a difference. We have 3 tactical, 3 engineering, and 4 science. In the fleet variant, well, I'll discuss that when we get there, but let's just say the fleet really boasts that support line. Everyone's now thinking 5 science, aren't they? The bridge officer positions also get a bit of a strengthen. And here we have the great augmentation, which I think everyone is dashing on because they haven't quite read it right. Let's think the Jupiter class before we discuss these bridge officer positions. In the Jupiter class, you'd have one extra position, yes, but you'll also have... Well, you don't have a majority lieutenant commander. You have a ensign, I believe it is, 2 lieutenants, a lieutenant commander, and a commander. And although this can dash up a lot of science power with the Jupiter class, not quite as much as you can dash up here. You see, this ship has its great advantage in the fact that it has its commander science position as expected for a science ship, lieutenant commander engineering, lieutenant commander tactical, and greatly appreciated, the universal command position, lieutenant commander rank. This is great purely because that you could use that as command if you wish. I personally would have preferred intel or miracle worker, but command has its advantages. A fair bit within support as well. And thanks to this not having another lieutenant universal, you can get the absolute most power out of this ship. Sure, you can't go and go like side with several bridge officer positions, but I would say on this ship you don't need it too much, thanks to the other 3 positions other than the commander being lieutenant commander. It has its advantages, and I will argue that for days. Now we can get into where this ship is. I'm very 50-50 with it, I'm gonna be honest. These ships make me really wonder here. So you got the trait, relaunch and repair. Now, this gives you reason to bring the pets back into the hangars, as long as that's not bugging out. Because that's been a bug for years now, and pets don't tend to want to go into the hangars, I've noticed. Even if you stop dead still. But what this does is basically every time you launch your carrier pets, to yourself you get minus 5% recharge time on captain abilities. Okay, that's good. And a 25% health regeneration to self and carrier pets. This does mean that it's sort of a quick recall relaunch, but at the same time, well, 25% of your health regeneration is strong, but in the middle of a fight, you've also dropped your DPS by recalling your pets. And at the same time, you've also dropped your support value by recalling your pets. The only thing you've boosted there is tankiness, so that's the only time I can think of this being slightly helpful. But then it falls in the other option. I tend to fly with the heavier pets, like you can see currently equipped here in the Klingons variant. And I like using frigates and the heavy escorts and that. So I may only have 2 or 4 pets in the field, and recalling and sending them back out doesn't happen as often because they're also a lot less likely to get destroyed quickly. As I'm a support flyer, I tend to keep them alive as well. This trait only really lends strength to when you're consistently relaunching destroyed pets, and that's the only real time I can think of this trait being great, which means, yeah, if you're flying tactical flyers or peregrine fighters, it makes a bit more sense. But yes, I don't see this being a great one. This has resulted in the trait being scored with me as a 5 out of 10 trait. Didn't quite do the weather control, did it? How about the console? Well, the console's much nicer. The console is a high energy communications network. Now this is actually good, but hard to explain why. Passively, you get plus 0.19 to auxiliary power settings and plus 3.9 to ship's hull capacity. I don't fully trust that. Okay, yeah, it was worth me actually jumping out to space to check. Currently sitting without any modifications to the ship, just my basic stats modifications, at plus 1.4 to auxiliary power settings and plus 14.3 to Starship hull capacity. And yes, the right traits and equipment will improve this passive stat, so that is something to keep in mind, as you've literally just seen between the Klingon and the Romulan. There are ways to cause it to change. Yeah, and going to space helps too. We are looking at a high energy communication network that creates a PBAOE team buff. Oh yeah! And foes get a debuff, plus rank to carrier pets as well. So this is very much a for the carriers console. Also for team play, which is nice to see, because this will not just buff your pets that you may have launched out, which is going to be relatively strong, but it's also going to buff your allies. So you're flying in a TFO, this is a good console to take out to that, bring everyone's strength up. It's a support carrier, this is a support console, exactly what I'm happy to see. On activation, plus 1 rank to all hangar pets, foes within 4 kilometers. Ooh, foes within 4 kilometers for 3 seconds. For 20 seconds to those foes will... For 20 seconds to... Oh, sorry, it holds foes within 4 kilometers for 3 seconds. Great, it's a hold. It's like a tractor beam. Not bad. I'm confusing myself so badly. I do apologise. For 20 seconds, though, to your allies within 4 kilometers of you. Good to be close together with this one, I guess. Plus 100 to accuracy, plus 100 to defense, and plus 20% to shield resistance. Support craft, please be flying next to the tank. 2 foes within 4 kilometers, minus 30 all damage resistance. I don't know why you didn't have that up there with your foes, but okay. Control amplification to targets hit, plus minus 25% or minus 25 exotic damage resistance for 10 seconds, and plus minus 25 control resistance for 10 seconds. I like to say plus when it's doing more of something. This is nice to see, because that's exotic damage and control, which, as a lot of people know, support players tend to sit in the control area, because that's one of the easiest ways you can support your allies out. And it allows you to do some DPS through that. The combination there is quite strong. 2 minutes to recharge, not bad. So let's get on with the big subject, shall we? The pets. The glorious pets. Well, fuck the ones you have here. I'm going to explain the pets in probably the best way I can, and that's to quote off of the actual board that I have here next to me. So, the standard variant you have your... Whoops! Where the hell are the fighters hiding? Let's just discuss the frigates right away, and I will slightly cover the fighters in a second. Frigates we have coming for the faction that they're with. They'll be provided with beam arrays matching energy type, so Jem'Hadar Polaron, Romulan Plasma, Klingon Disruptor, so on and so forth. 1 photon torpedo and a 360-degree beam. Their abilities will be Scattering Field 2, Beam Fire at Will 1, Polarized Hull 2, and Viral Matrix 1. And Transfer Shield Strength 1. There's actually quite a lot of abilities coming with the frigates in question. It's not bad. If we take the advanced option though, which is purchasable from the dilithium store, and yeah, I need to get some dilithium to get these bad boys out. There you are. God, that was a little bit more difficult to find than I expected it to be. So, this is the advanced Milim on screen. This will also go for the advanced Jem'Hadar support fighter, and presumably the Yoink. Yep, advanced Caitian support, and of course you have your Klingon variant, which I will show you as well just at the end of this. This comes with, well, for the cost of 30,250 dilithium, though currently on sale, 2 beam arrays forward, 1 photon torpedo, 1 360-degree beam arc. Okay, no great upgrade. However, with abilities, this is Scattering Field 2, Beam Fight Wheel 1, Polarized Hull 2, Vital Matrix 1, Transfer Shield Strength 1, Hazard Emitters 1, and Suppression Barrage 3 with the advanced variant. If we talk to the Elite though, requiring you to have Fleet Starbase store and purchase it from there, you can acquire for yourself the magnificent power of 2 beam weapons, 1 dual beam weapon, photon torpedo, 360-degree beam, scattering field 3, beam fire wheel 1, polarized hull 2, viral matrix 1, transfer shield strength 1, hazard emitter 2, suppression barrage 3, sensor scan 1. To be fair, that is not a huge upgrade, but it's still sizable as something to, I guess, think about. Also available with these pets, you will have the standard fighter variation. Now, if you go for the standard fighter over normal, I just noticed Caitian is Tetrion, not Phaser, so I apologise for that. But if you go for the fighters, these will come with pulse cannons, photon generators, anti-proton sweep, and signature mask for Caitian. The Jem'Hadar will be pulse cannon, beam array, dual cannon, and direct energy modulation, if you're interested in that. I'm pretty sure you can't use the Jem'Hadar attack ships on the Jem'Hadar version. Would be interesting if you could. Would be nice to see if you could use the Castillo on it, but I also doubt that. I will do a quick check for those after this. God, these are quite strong, aren't they? Hey, a fighter squadron. The Todoj fighter squadron of the Klingons are pulse cannons, dual disruptors, and quantum torpedoes. They're actually quite strong. Okay, well. With this all being said then, so with a quick check that we're having here, fighter-wise, that you can equip, you can see you're able to put most of your fighter options onto this ship. It's nice to see you can actually switch between Jem'Hadar and Romulan carriers, even though you're using a different one, so they're not carrier specific. If you are flying the Caitian and you want to go with a plasma build, you could always use the Romulan hangar pets. That's great. And hello there, Scorpion fighters. Just noting here though, the Scorpion fighters appear to be much weaker for Romulan. I'm not sure that's a good thing, but okay. Take a look up at the Romulans and check to see if they have any special options available for them. Does not appear so. And if we take a final dive at the Jem'Hadar, will you be allowed to use any special options from Jem'Hadar specific? No, you will not. Well, that's only fair. So let's take a look at customization. Oh wait, no. we've got to discuss the fleet variant first. So, you may have noticed I did state already that the fleet is specifically stronger and substantially so. Now, this is the thing to speak of. Like I said in the bundle, you immediately get enough. As you can see, I've now got 4 fleet modules, enough to make all 4 variants into their fleet versions, if you wish. So per character that you want to put this on, you can at least have 1 fleet variant. Now, this fleet scaling is actually quite substantial. You may have already noticed it, but I'm now going to further confirm how these support carriers have been made very, very strong. First of all, in the case of the standard Federation, Klingon and Romulan options, their hull modifier is now 1.54, up from 1.4, and increasing from 1.25, the shield modifier is now 1.375. This is quite substantial. In the Jem'Hadar's case, as you probably all guessed straight away, that's going to be different. Again, it seems to be sitting in the same standing, so I don't think this is an error. Hull modifier is now 1.375, just as you probably was guessing, based on the Caitian, Klingon and Romulan. For the hull modifier, that is. Their shield modifier is at 1.43. Relatively strong. This definitely makes the Jem'Hadar the better shield tank, while, let's just be blunt, overall the Caitian, Klingon and Romulan do win out quite strongly as the tanks overall, at least there. They then really do claim that role of support, with those remaining as a 3 tactical, 4 science. It is actually a 4 engineering at fleet level rather than becoming a 5 science. Again, people complained about this, but personally, seeing as this is a support type carrier, don't know how many times I'm going to reiterate that, it's actually good that they thought about the engineering side and strengthened the engineering side of the ship to truly make it versatile. The final stats available to these ships for Admiralty as a result stand in at 26 engineering, 26 tactical and 55 science, with plus 25 maintenance, or minus 25% maintenance per science ship. Fleet variation is 29, 29, 60, plus 8 science per ship. I guess there's a reason to be flying the fleet. I am thoroughly impressed with this ship stat wise. Now let's stop niggling and we'll take a quick look at customization. This will be very quick before we take the ship into action. First one we're looking at is the Romulan. I'm doing this specifically because I'm a fan of the Romulans, even if I fly Federation. Romulan is, well, about what you're expecting. There is no second style you can add to this ship, so that's a shame. But you have plenty of hull types to look at, including Upgrade, Tarvo, Veteran, my personal favourite, the Type 5, all the way up to the Ra-no-Denier main hull, and I'm got to be honest, the Ra-no-Denier is actually quite a nice look, so let's be nice to it. There are the variant 4 types of windows, and of course the Romulan bridge with no other options. Now looking at the Jem'Hadar, since it follows practically the same suit, this one again has no other options. It's kind of hilarious considering, well, you have the Psi carrier, which is the science carrier Vanguard, or the Vanguard carrier. Makes me laugh that this one is called the Vanguard. Okay. Well, before we say anything else, I'm just going to quickly throw this joke in there. Has anyone watched a bit too much Star Wars recently? Because I feel like the Last Jedi was watched a bit too much. Okay. Either way, having said all that little jip there, I'm not going to lie, it's a good look. No customization options though, outside of hull. And I'm not going to lie, Type 5 looks damn nice. I love the colour palette. You have your standard Jem'Hadar bridge and your standard... Excuse me. Your standard 5 window types. Honestly, not a lot going on for this ship, though I do appreciate the engine design they threw onto the ship, giving it a little bit of a unique look. To be fair, kind of was needed. Then we have the Aspero. Now, this is going to be the beginning of a trend that the Klingon brings back quickly. Yes, I know, I'm trolling you Klingon fans. I'm sorry. We'll get there. The Aspero is going to be an amazing ship to fly. Why? Well, one window type. 3 hull types. But you have the Aatrox brought across. And I know some people will probably be saying, oh, that's such an out-of-date look for STO though. It's like, yeah, fair enough. But still, it looks absolutely amazing. It gave us the original 2 hull types. And now we have this beautiful extra hull to go on it. Plus, who doesn't like the Aatrox? I was literally requested to do a cinematic video on this ship. So I can pretty much guarantee I now need to do that for this one. Oh, but yeah. 2 hull modifications available as a result. Doesn't exactly fit between each other. So I will throw in right now, as great as they are, unfortunately due to the massive difference in design, they don't fit too well. But I'm glad that this ship follows the trend set by the recently or semi-recently released Caitian Escort. I'm glad they did that and followed the same trend, otherwise it would be a bit out of place. Looks good to me, and I do appreciate the customization options. You were waiting. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. We have the, as I'm going to refer to it, the Vo'devwl. Devil, I think it's supposed to be the Devil, but I'm calling it the Vo'devwl because it's Klingon. Currently being flown by Jehovah Heg, god of death. So yeah. Right. Why am I stalling? Well, because I'm very afraid to say anything critical here, because I don't want to lose my head to a bat'leth. People have been begging for this ship, which I do believe is a tier 4, to be given to the Klingon fanbase within STO for years. It has been one of the most requested things. I've just literally heard it everywhere. It was nice to have an option available to it, but everyone wanted the upgrade so they could fly their Klingon. I am going to get bat'leth now. Their Klingon carrier to the fullest. I mean, seriously, if you're a Klingon fan, are you sure you want to be flying an Orion or a Gorn? No! You want to be drinking your blood wine and screaming Kapla! Well, do it in style. Seriously, you can customize just about every element. This is so brilliantly thought out, and I think that's the only customization point I might throw into this ship, just to give it the bit more the Vulture feel. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm appreciative of that feel. I mean, that's quite nice too. I could see myself flying that. Damn it, this ship is so good. It's like, how? And I'm just talking about the customization options. I'm supposed to be doing this quickly. The Vo'devwl also has its own skin, along with the Vulture skin, which I'm pretty sure everyone is happy to see has been given to this ship. the veteran, the types, which I don't know why you'd even care about them anymore, since once you go past Vorcha, you get up to TOS D7, which... oh, it looks good! You have the Mirror, which is... okay. Klingon Beta, which is another bit more textured version of TOS. Klingon Alpha, which again is the better textured version of TOS. God, those hangers look good with this. And then you go up to Discovery Era, and it's like... They could have easily gone bad here and picked any Discovery Era for it, but they picked the D7 and they put the right D7 hole on it. It looks great! And then you can have Bird of Prey if you want it. Which, again, immediately looks great. That's my favourite one. That's my personal favourite. Alongside TOS. Yeah, that probably doesn't make sense to some people. I'm saying TOS is one of my favourites for once. Wow. Well, I get to say, it's such good customization. Now, let's fly. Sorry, it won't be the Klingon. So, let's do this, shall we? Oh, and please, bear in mind, you are aboard a Section 31 vessel. Please keep this a secret. But also, let's... oh, I'm gonna have a field day right now. I'm literally flying in my element. I love support. This is my thing! Hello, Jem'Hadar. Hello, oh, you poor little fucks. I'm actually gonna just have a little bit of fun with you guys at first and just see. Oh, and yes, I am taking advantage of distinct powers to really bring in this ship's advantages. As you may notice, yes, I'm using the multi-target tractor beam as that helps with control. I could use the red matter well, but yeah, I don't see why that's necessary. I'm also using distinctly broadside built up around phasers, which is my preference. Of course, these aren't phaser type pets, so they're not gaining a benefit from me being a phaser build, but well, you watch them do their thing. Destroy, my frigates, destroy! And I shall be here to... no, stop firing me. I didn't ask you to fire. Stop it! I want to see how well the pets do. Apparently not so good. Oh no, they're doing alright, they're recovering. This is where my support build comes into line. See, they're escort, so really I can just sit back and do my thing. Like, woohoo! How are you all doing, you little fleggets? Come on now, you should have been down by now. That's more like it. Right, on my 6. Actually, I'm going to keep you right next to me right now. We saw how much damage they were just doing. I mean, they were doing quite a substantial amount of damage. But, let's just see how strong we can get when we send all of our pets at full strength. Communication array style. Target sighted. Go on assault. Now we're going to tractor beam him, and then we're going to take advantage of this power just to keep him in range of it. Also, now all my pets are in range too. Oh, one is falling out of range. Just look at the power that had. Yes, some of that damage was being done by my multi-targeted tractor beam. Substantial amount. The pets did deal quite an advanced amount of extra damage though. And I think this is the thing that a lot of people underestimate with carrier builds, is the pets can be made to be quite strong. In fact, my entire build that I naturally have is focused around improving the power of the pets. I could have used some things to give myself a broadside build style if I really needed to have broadside build. If you're wondering about ways you can do this, first of all, Gravity Well enables you to drag enemies in front of you, but there's always the option of... oh, I can't... I should have it in here. I don't, but you have the Graviton display, so you get that with a certain other Zen ship, and that one will drag literally every enemy close to you straight in front of you, which is perfect for broadside builds. It's also amazing for you as a support vessel flying in a support DPS role like I naturally fly. So what is my final score for these ships? That's the big question really now, isn't it? What is my final opinion? Okay, well, first of all, I just want to say to you guys that whatever your thoughts are, I would love for you to comment them below, because I'm very interested in hearing what you guys think of this ship, these ships, and are you happy with the difference with the Jem'Hadar over the others? The distinctive thing that I did kind of miss out saying, but I guess in my head, all of you should, it's relatively good knowledge, so all of you should probably know it. If not, you're about to hear it. Federation's big advantage, it's Federation. Klingons have their cloak. This is great for cloaking ambush and will improve on DPS. Romulans have battle cloak. This allows them to cloak during combat itself, though they come with a weakness that comes with the singularity cause. Their power levels are a little bit lower than average. Jem'Hadar. They may not have cloak or battle cloak, but they have the Vanguard wingmen that allow for additional hull healing, shield healing, and DPS output. Though in all test practices, Vanguard wingmen are not substantially different from pets for their power. In essence, the Jem'Hadar just simply has 2 more of what I currently have here on the field. And that quite literally is it, because the pets that you launch for the Vanguard version or the Jem'Hadar version of this support carrier are actually the same ships. So that's something to keep very much in mind going forwards. I do believe the Vanguard wingmen do classify as advanced level, so at least you know they're strong. Now, where does this ship actually stand for me? Well, I'm really happy at the moment with the way my pets decided to line up. That's very nice of you, thank you. How do I rank the pets? Well, the pets individually are absolutely amazing. It's a shame that these aren't phaser, which means you may want to look at Tetrion builds with them, but overall, this ship is actually scoring very high for me. In fact, I do prefer this ship over the Vanguard carrier. Sorry, the Vanguard carrier, the Vo'devwl carrier, which was my original favourite carrier to fly. Carrier specific to fly, should I say. I'm not including in that heavier carriers. Okay, summarised properly. Tank. Jem'Hadar is the better shield tank. Klingon, Romulan, and Federation will deal with hull tanking quite well. Overall, I would definitely say if you're going for a tank, pick Rom or Klingon, just for the slight advantages they may have in that regards. The Federation one is pretty damn strong as far as support builds go, seeing as it is a Tetrion orientated build, and Tetrion is great for draining, well, at least draining shields. This is going to be in its own distinctive advantages, so you've got your drain build, it's semi-supported here already. Of course, Romulans have exotic damage on their side. Klingons are pretty damn good at causing weaknesses. This results in them again being the stronger orientation. Polyrons of the Jem'Hadar though do come back quite well in support regards, just purely for their alignment of Polyron and what Polyron is so capable of. Damn. Phased Polyron for the win. Which actually would work really well on this ship, seeing as it's broadside build. As for DPS, well, they are nonetheless across the board pretty damn strong, but I am going to say the Klingon takes the win in the DPS category. So if you're looking for DPS wise, I would probably go with Klingon, then Romulan. This is just purely for their cloaked ambush ability and the advantages they gain from said abilities. Yes, I know it sounds like I'm very much on the Klingon and the Romulan sides, but it's been the thing for a while now. That raw side of things just give them an advantage. Overall scoring, I would score this ship as a... Do you know what? I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 as a tank, because considering if you buy the bundle, you can go straight to the fleet variant. This ship is really damn tough to take down. It's got amazing shield and amazing hull. Both parameters, no matter which ship you pick, has got some great potential behind it. So yes, I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 tank. Support role, 10 out of 10. I can't praise it enough. It's been smart with support. The bridge officer positions greatly complement this run of thinking. The fleet variant majorly complements it, almost to a insane degree. And just overall, this ship is able to run any variant of support very easily without very much skill in that area being needed to actually get some decent scoring out of your support. DPS. Well, with potential behind it, though this ship is very much lacking in maneuverability and therefore is not the type that you would use for a forward arcing DPS build, the ship still can pull it back in the broadside run. In broadside, you do not need to worry so much about the maneuverability of the ship, just making sure you can take the damage, because you're going to draw a bit more attention. It's also going to require a little bit more threat degeneration to try and prevent yourself from being the primary target. This being if you're going with a fire at will and scatter volley build if you're using cannons, but to be fair, if you're going broadside, you're probably using beams at this point. Science-wise, the DPS is going to be quite good, and tactically-wise, though it's obviously not the best, it is still good for what the ship is, and so I will score this ship an 8 out of 10 in the DPS category. As a support carrier and her underlining flexibility and uses, this gives me a final score for her of 9 out of 10. With my preferences being... personal preferences aside this is, I would honestly say the Romulan takes the strongest pinch for me. Just because it's the most available. Any faction can use it. If you're only getting one ship, the Romulan is going to give you the greatest advantage. From then, I say Klingon. If you're already Klingon allied, I would definitely say Klingon first, but if you're looking for the one ship that's available to the most, I'm afraid Klingon can't quite do that. However, Klingon will definitely be your strongest in DPS runs and will obviously do the other two roles quite well. After that, I go with Federation. Why am I discounting the wingmen? Well, I don't think the wingmen make up enough for what this ship's potential has. You have plenty of Tetrion and Phaser builds that you could use with the Federation variant to really make up for the Jem'Hadar's advantage. And to be frank, I do believe the stats defensively for the first three over Jem'Hadar do equal out to make the Federation version a little bit more enduring than the Jem'Hadar is. As a result, Jem'Hadar comes in last place for me, but that's not to discount its ability. It looks amazing, and its wingmen will definitely give you a survivable advantage so long as you remember to use them. That's my opinions on this ship. What do you think? Which one are you going to pick? That's the question I want to ask. If you're going to get one of these ships, which one would you pick? If you can afford to go and get all of them, I do recommend it, because then with the bundle, you have the availability to go straight to the fleet option, and that fleet option is going to be very strong. So, I honestly, I'm pushing it only for that advantage, but I've got to be honest, this is because I may have used the non-fleet variation here, but right after this video and right after doing the visual reviews, I'm going straight to the fleet, and I'm going to be flying the fleet myself. To all those who have watched towards the end of this video, I just want to say thank you for watching throughout the entire video and giving Shadow Stars support by doing so. To my patrons and donators, a huge thank you to you as well for making this video possible. And if you wish to join in with them and become a patron or donator and support this channel on a personal level, the links are below. If you're new to the channel, maybe consider subscribing and giving this video a like if it's been helpful to you or you've enjoyed it in any form. And don't forget to ring that notification bell. We have a Discord that has been set up by the king of Discord himself, Skyhawkings. It's running much smoother than it used to. At least I made it a mess and he cleaned it up. So if you want to come along and join Discord, share your own screenshots, clips, videos, whatever it is, you're more than welcome to with our crew clips tab, and join the discussion with the rest of the crew. But for now, I've been Captain Ri'shad. You guys have been awesome. And remember, live long and prosper, my friends. Ri'shad, Commodore of Section 31 Delta Force, signing out.